Oh fuck. I should have actually named it. Uh, what's the title? Uh, uh,
VTubing slaves? Question mark. You need to do so. Slavery in the VTubing industry? What?
I feel like the S word is kind of off limits for YouTube though.
uh, sewer slide in
No, no, we're not going there, dude. I'll
okay.
censor it.
Tragedy in the VTubing community. Sad face.
Sad.
And then you want to put like in the title names of different VTubers, like so people are like, "What? My favorite VTuber tragedy? What?" And then
No.
click on it because they're freaks.
They are freaks. Alright, description.
Helldivers. Hashtag Helldivers. Hashtag VTubing. Hashtag game in the system. Game in the system. Hashtag micro celebrity.
Okay. Oh, that's not actually a hashtag. Unless I can spell. Oh. Hashtag micro.
Not for long. Pretty soon will be a macro channel.
Alright. Do you actually want to talk about VTuber drama? Because I'm not even
Well,
sure I want to talk about it. I don't think I really have much to offer.
I want to know the situation because I have no idea what the situation even is.
Well, I'm sure I can only give a very bad
Cursory.
demonstrate demonstration.
Yeah.
Look at that search history. Um,
Okay.
okay, if you want a story time from someone who has no actual connection, no expertise, and no knowledge of what's going on, shouldn't actually be in the gaming category. I'll change that actually as I stall.
Dude, we
Uh,
gotta figure out how we can get higher in the Google search results. What do we need to do to gain the Google search results?
let's see. What's the category?
Uh, uh,
People and
what
blogs.
are VTubers? IRL?
Or IRL. That's not a category. There's
Maybe that's
autos and
not.
vehicles, comedy, education, entertainment, film and animation, gaming, blah blah blah
We're comedy.
blah.
We're clowns.
How can you call us funny though? I feel like it's a bit of a stretch. Okay. Yeah, let's try and start at a place that's I'm sure a lot of people would have a problem with, but uh
Dude, did you hear
so
about that crazy VTuber drama?
oh man, yeah, oh yeah, I've heard all about it. I've got so many hot opinions.
Dude, I care so much about VTubing. I'm locked in.
Well,
As the kid would say.
the big thing is my conclusion to start with is that this company is probably suffering from a lot of like growth issues where the management probably never expected this to go as big as it did. Because from my understanding, very early on when they were first like founded, this was basically a guy who's like, look, I'm gonna put a little bit of money behind these these content creators, and I'm gonna work to like try and hook them up with merchandising deals, but I'm not really gonna do a damn thing beyond that. And I don't think he expected it to become nearly as big as it is, because this is gonna have a huge decline because of how crazy it was. But like this is not a small company anymore, and that was 2 years ago,
Whoa.
right?
That's actually insane. I did not know VTubing was this big of an industry, to be honest with you.
And this is Niji Sanji. This is like the runner up, at least in
Right.
the West.
Right. That's absurd. Yeah, so it's like, but it's kind of like video game companies, right? They're a bunch of nerds that were just making games in their basement. All of a sudden, it's like the most popular thing, and they're
Yeah,
all rich beyond belief.
yeah. Oh, wow, that is a lot more. Okay, anyways, the point being, my suspicion is that, like, okay, you know what? Let's get the story out. So, is she
Right.
even on the site still? This is a fan site, so I imagine they would. No, they
Who's
straight up
that? What?
removed her from. Oh wait, former members, duh. Okay, yeah. So there's Selene Totsky, right? She joined like a year or two ago. Um, normally, whenever you oh yeah, 21. So normally, whenever like you leave these things, you get a graduation. Or that's what they
Mhm.
call it because it comes from like Japanese like pop idol culture,
Yeah,
right? And the whole idea is just like, oh, I'm graduating. I'll see you all later. It'll be great, right?
yeah.
Um, she got fucking terminated. Like a public notice telling her like, hey, we managed to bait a viewer into watching us. A bunch of know nothings. You're not gonna learn anything, by the way, viewer, if you're actually a person. Um,
Yeah.
Anyway, she got fucking terminated. So that we'll go ahead and start right there. Um, her company posted a notice saying after she made some comments that were like critical in a very vague way of how the company's being run, we're gonna cut her out. Um, so what she does is she goes back to her original account, which was
Fart
um
Knocker 69.
oh god, I
Or
wish. No,
Maybe
Doki Bird. So she goes to this account. She's had this account. This is what she did before she joined up with Niji Sanji.
okay.
Right? And she goes on, and part of her first stream back, everyone starts flooding in because everyone, like, she was one of the most popular VTubers they had in their English speaking division.
Okay.
Um, Everyone starts flocking to her. Um, so right before they terminated her, she did have some spats that were very vaguely alluded to in public. So I've heard some people sort of say like, "Oh, she just wanted this peaceful release, and she just wanted this very like flat, neutral, professional." I don't know that I agree with that. I think
Mhm.
if we look at it's probably all purged right now. I wish I prepared for this better. Um, but there was Sullen
Someone died.
Ski. Anyways,
Oh, dude,
yeah.
you need night mode. My eyeballs are like bleeding. Night mode, night mode, night mode.
Well, you're at the nicer sounding mic now, so I need you to like actually talk more. So it's just not some idiot with a shitty sounding mic. The internet has enough of like idiots with shitty sounding mics talking about stuff they don't actually know.
Okay, so I'll say this. She deserved it because she has heterochromia, and that's like the most overused trope in anime. So one thing that I'll consider she fucking deserved. Second of all,
True.
I want to
True.
be a VTuber now when I see the amount of money. Actually, I want to own a VTubing company. I don't want to be a VTuber because it sounds pretty shit to be a VTuber. It sounds like hell to be a VTuber. But owning the company, that's where the real money is.
I mean, if only you could just own a multi-billion-dollar company.
Very easy stuff. Very easy stuff. Okay, here's our niche, right? We put all our VTubers on a cannibal island, right?
Sure.
And when they lose, they get eaten by cannibals when they graduate. So they're graduating, they just get fucking torn apart limb by limb. We have special animations for when they get torn apart. They're never coming back. They're dead.
Man.
Oh no, dude!
Okay,
I'm
here we
playing
go.
Call of Duty.
This is so basically before she was terminated, she made a tweet that was sort of complaining air quotes about management, right?
Mhm.
So, when they terminate here, it's pretty clear to everyone watching with how much she shared that this is not like a neutral, amicable, like, severing, right? This
Mhm.
is there's some manner of grievance, even if understandably nobody's like detailing stuff because you don't really try and publicize it unless it's like a last resort, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then
So
after that, after she gets terminated, she goes on to Doki Bird, has her first stream, gets massive wave of support. Everyone loves her. Uh, and what I found surprising is the fact that during that first stream, she actually does comment on
okay.
like leaving Niji Sanji. I don't remember the exact wording, but again, it was more along the lines of this sort of tweet where it's kept very vague and non-specific. Um, Leading up to her termination, she was in the hospital
Mhm.
for I believe she published that she was in the hospital for an attempt, if you know.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So when I
So
said that joke before the stream, that was
I
vaguely.
mean, I laughed. I've got nowhere to tuck down to you, man, because you made me laugh.
I didn't know it was actually like that. I
I
thought it
mean,
was a joke.
the thing is for a long, but up until like she announced it, nobody really thought it was it. Like most people thought in the hospital was code name for like she was on suspension,
Hmm.
right?
Okay.
For basically complaining publicly about management. Very air quotes complaining, to be honest, because this isn't that. Anyways, on her first stream, she brings up the topic and brings up sort of a statement on it that was approved by her lawyer, which I thought was really weird that a lawyer would approve it because it's sort of being a lot more clear that she is like leaving that company with grievances and it's
Hmm.
not an amicable parting, right? The
Yeah.
way again, the way some people portray it is like she's just trying to move on. She doesn't want anything to do with it. She has nothing. She had nothing to say. It was all this nice thing. It's like nah. She made it pretty clear that like there's like something bad, which
Yeah.
for an organization like this isn't a toilet paper manufacturer, right? Like
These are
the
real fuck.
reputation's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's unfair to like see that and say that there was at least some amount of harm. The big thing is that after she does this and starts like, going crazy because this is 500,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah.
Especially
We.
for fucking nobodies like us. Oh, they're
Yeah.
gone.
This is whatever. Whatever.
Yeah.
We were just
I
talking
can
about it
already
earlier.
tell I'm boring the shit out of you.
No, I'm listening. I'm not. I was literally. I'm trying to figure out what the story is. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
talking.
Yeah,
Lady
no.
goes in. She complains. She could almost commit suicide. She releases a statement that her lawyer tells her to release. But the lawyer, you're like, oh, why would you release that? Because it's like a defamation kind of thing. I'm guessing.
I mean, kind of. That's the weird thing is like she releases that and like things are silent for about a day.
Hmm.
And then like Niji Sanji release basically escalates things a lot because
Which is dumb.
yeah. Like the
They
playbook,
put a fucking spotlight on it.
yeah, the playbook, right, is where you release a say nothing message where you're like, we hear the community and we're listening, right? And then you just
Yeah.
go radio silent.
And then you just ignore it and never talk about that person again, and
Exactly.
deduct their presence from everything.
That's the playbook. Instead, what they do is they say this person has filed a formal legal complaint against us and here are some of the and against like some of the people in our organization,
Oh no.
right?
Oh no. That's the fucking worst thing you can possibly do.
That's what I'm saying is like the thing is like when you look at the grievances, some of it is like, pretty serious, like accusations of like bullying and harassment,
Mhm.
and some of it's like favoritism. And it's like this is
Stupid.
well,
It just seems like a really like sad situation for like no apparent reason. Like you all are making money hand over fist. You're richer than you ever thought you could possibly be off like something like VTubing. Like why can't you just like chill out, and let the money just come in? I always wonder that. Like if you're riding a tide, just ride the tide.
I
Like
mean,
do whatever you
yeah.
can to ride that tide.
The thing is like there some of the stuff people cite doesn't make a lot of sense to me or seems like a bit of a non-issue because like favoritism. Like this isn't this isn't a daycare. This is a company. Like
Right.
they should be favoriting the most productive members, right?
Mhm.
Even if they're not doing that, if they're favoriting like just people based on their like under the table skills, um, you know,
Doesn't matter.
then that's still not really anything on you. That's not really a source of grievance in my mind. But like the
That's
bullying and the
one thing though.
harassment stuff, yeah, that's a lot more. And that's kind of where I am, where I feel like there's a lot of people like I think there's legitimacy in like Selen's grievances with Neji
Mhm.
Sanji
Mhm.
based on what incredibly little information we have, because almost none of this is actually substantiated for how much they're dragging it out into the public. Uh,
Yeah.
and by they, I mean more than her.
Yeah.
Um,
But it just seems like it's blown up for no apparent reason.
well, yeah, I feel like people are giving airtime to like parts of the story that don't matter.
Okay.
Uh,
See, I have this thing though, like, sorry, I was fucking trying to think what I was trying to say. Like, this gonna come off really callous. This is me. This is Devin hot take of the year, right? I get like the bullying aspect in like formal like office space kind of stuff. But if you're like a work from home kind of person, you know what I'm saying? If you're at your house in your underwear, just don't read the message they send you. Like, don't read the meme. Just turn off
so
your computer.
so a lot of the specifics is like very speculative
Uh,
stuff that I don't want to repeat specifically. Um,
okay.
but it's more from her peers, you know.
Yeah.
At which point it's a little more difficult to like put off cuz like, these are these are people you literally work with.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
again, that's why in my opinion that's more the more substantial accusations
Mhm.
that she's putting out. Um
Do you think it's gonna happen, or do you think it's gonna be like just like blows over in like a week?
I think it's going to keep happening cuz like again, like the play they should have made is just release a do nothing statement and then ignore it. At least in the public. Like dragging this out in the public was such a bad call. Like if they did nothing, they might have like lost a little bit of like social status just because it's very readily obvious that um it's readily obvious that they're not parting on good terms,
Mhm.
but they like overextended themselves so much in trying to like escalate the situation and disclosing that she had a legal. Not only did she have a legal complaint, but she had a legal complaint that named like specific individuals in there. I don't think they actually named who it was that she mentioned, but honestly, the biggest takeaway I have has nothing even to do with any of the parties involved. To be honest,
What's
uh,
your takeaway?
my takeaway is that people are addicted to a sense of righteous anger and don't actually think about things objectively at all.
Oh,
Because,
I
mhm.
okay. Go ahead. No, I want to hear your thought.
Because like there's a lot of Niji Sanji is exploding, Niji Sanji is dead, they're lost in the fire, look at all these sponsors pulling out, they're gonna die. Um
Yada yada
and
yada.
yeah, give me a second. So a lot of people will cite that a lot of the Niji EN people are losing a bunch of subscribers. Let me see if I can find the website real quick.
Wasn't that like the meme for the longest time? Like you'll lose subscribers. Wasn't that like a joke that everyone said? And now people are citing it like it's some like real like I mean like people come and go. Like as long as there's a sucker born every minute, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
Not you, dear
yeah.
viewer. You're
No,
important to me.
Nah, they already left. They're already sick of our dumbass takes.
A future
Um,
viewer watching this, I love you. I will die for you. If you come to my house, I will lay down my life for you.
uh, oh no. Where is this fucking site?
I will say one thing I was gonna say when you were talking about how like I feel like people are addicted to righteous anger. This is the we're a full drama stream right now, so I'm just gonna keep going with the drama. I'm gonna talk about the two-man situation real fast. Uh, like addicted to righteous anger. I get he was a horrible person, but he was also like severely mentally ill, and you didn't know him, and he was just like a fucking psycho 23-year-old kid on a lot of drugs. Like you can hate the guy, but like people are like so excited to shit on someone who was a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong, but who didn't even have like a chance to like not be a piece of shit. The kid started drugs at like 18 years old and he died at 23. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people with mental issues who don't,
That's
don't
true.
do any of that. That's one thing. So, anyways, what I'm gonna get to is a lot of people are very excited about how badly this company is doing as a result of
Mhm.
all this, and they'll cite this website very specifically. And they'll be like, look at all these numbers. They're all red and they're going down. How awful. 76,000? That's a big number, especially out of 16,000.
Yeah.
This is only the English
Okay.
part. So if we just add in the Japanese branch, things don't look like they're changing that much. And if we look at this number, it's still a big number. But out of this number,
Incredibly tiny.
yeah, this ain't shit to them, man. Like, this would not be the first time a Japanese media company tried to like get into a foreign market and failed. I mean, this company themselves closed down 5 different foreign branches.
Mhm. Also, like her leaving in general, like positive or negative, is going to have a negative result on their subscriber count anyway, because some people only were there for her no matter what. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
and they're breaking this down by channel. So, they're all gonna leave from a dead channel, but again, the big thing is like you can see a lot of people talking about how this is obviously like a company that's going to die and burn and explode, and it's like they've still got the numbers. The money's going to come back.
Yeah.
Like the English branch might fail, and that'll probably be a big loss to them because it was the only like foreign branch that had any real success.
Yeah.
But again, this dude became one of the richest people in his, if not the world.
Well, that's the thing people don't get is like people expect like they think of like Amazon and all these companies that last forever. Not every company is even made to last forever. Like this has already been a resounding success if you look at the company's history. Like he threw a little bit of money in and got like incredible returns. Like it's already won. You know what I'm saying? You can be as mad as you want, but they've already won.
Yeah,
Like
look,
as soon as they made that much money, they've already won.
like I'm bearded white man on the internet number like 4,444. So like I don't hate this. I don't hate Penguin Zero or Charlie, but like this is just patently untrue. Like maybe it should be. I don't know. Maybe this company should go away, but you're really deluding yourself if you actually think that like and and that's the thing again. Like I don't know any of the fucking people involved in this drama, but the
Mhm.
numbers just don't match up. And if you're like, there's so much chronic public masturbation on the internet that
Yeah.
whenever people will very clearly just be ignoring parts of the numbers to like give themselves the best high about something they care about.
Sniffing their own farts, man.
Yeah, because like this looks bad, but if this doesn't mean the company's failing because this is a side project. All of this, all of these people, all a
Yeah.
side project for them, and that's just by the numbers. That's just what the numbers say.
I think people are like not just like addicted to the high. They've seen a lot of implosions recently in like business like history. Like you've seen like major companies even take a toll. Like fucking Blizzard has like completely dive bombed their entire fucking company. I mean, they're still making money hand over fist, which is part of the thing. You're looking at the
Yeah,
numbers, and it's like you can fuck up a lot when you're a big company. You don't realize how much you can fuck up when you're a humongous company, and people will still like let you through, especially when you have like at the end of the day, it's all market demands. If you still have the product that people are seeking, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's just supply and demand.
and that's the thing that like gets me. It's nothing to do with like either the company or the individual involved. It's all people just so like on this high about wanting to like imagine themselves as this fucking
Moral arbiter.
yeah, well, not even a moral arbiter, but like a moral protagonist.
Yeah.
Like this company's not going anywhere. Maybe it should, maybe it shouldn't.
I mean, he's at this
But
point, I think
like you're actively deluding yourself if you really think it's going to like it's just ignoring the numbers that are inconvenient. And there's I think I'm just annoyed with like how much people just really like jerking themselves off to a narrative. Because the fact that I'm not super emotionally invested in this doesn't mean I'm more correct. But the
mm-hmm.
fact that like the people who are very emotionally invested in this refuse to even consider challenging like the most extreme of their takes on it, like
It's
I hope to God I don't hear any of you motherfuckers talking about echo chambers. Because you need echo chambers. You love echo chambers. You can't get away from echo chambers. I'm gonna go check my food. You take over because
all
I've
right.
just been talking to myself for the last half hour.
I've been talking. I've been talking. Yeah, no, 100%. I look at it like a lot of situations. I think the only thing that could ever stop like a company that's already in motion or any kind of like big corporation that's already in motion is stopping. Like there's this YouTuber named Voss recently, which is a singular channel, not even close to a big company, but he's losing tons of subscribers because he did some really fucked shit. He had like he was looking at people fucking horses or something, kids fucking horses, um, really fucked up stuff. But I think his major problem is he's slowed down his like main like grift. Like he's slowed down making his videos on like political shit. He's slowed down trying to branch out with other people in his industry. Like you can do whatever you want in your free time, as fucked up as that sounds. It is. I mean, this is just the nature of the beast. It is fucked up, but like the main thing you can't do is stop. That's like if you want to keep your ball rolling, like with Blizzard, right? Throughout all this controversy, throughout all this bullshit, they're still releasing games. They're still releasing like Diablo 4 and shit, and they're still thriving because at the end of the day, people don't care as much as they say they care. It sounds dark as hell, but people like if there's a new VTuber they like, they'll run right back to that company, hands on knees. They'll see a funny clip online and be like, "Oh, dude, I love fucking Per Pika Volume 84." I
I
don't know.
mean,
I,
and even if they're not willing to, they've still got the domestic audience, and that's the thing. Is like that's not something that you can affect, and that's not something that's being affected by any of this. And even
yeah,
if you try to, there's so many ways that they could like defend themselves from that. You know,
yeah.
the old, you just appeal to nationalism or xenophobia or
Yeah.
whatever, and you're home safe.
You can even
But
go like crazier than that. Like people like just change the name of their company like Nesto. Like they just have different like fucking branch companies. And they still get tons of profit because people only like well people hyper focus on like a name or a brand or something. They can't focus on the individuals causing these issues because no one knows. Most people don't know any individual, like who's bullying who. Like they say the company's bullying, but this is obviously like some people bullying other people. Who are the people, because that's what you should be focused on if you care
well,
about bullying.
I don't know about that. Like part of the controversy uh, like
Mhm.
is I don't know. I feel like it was just a mistake to really. It was a mistake on Niji Sanji's part. Like the thing that lends me blah blah blah. Let me restart this fucking this thought thread for like the third time. I can't focus. Save my life.
No problem.
Like the biggest. I'm very cynical and contrarian by nature. So
Yeah.
whenever all this was unfolding, I was sort of leaning against like Selen slash Doki Bird's side and like really trying to scrutinize what was going on.
Hmm.
But the more Niji Sanji like just tripped themselves up strategically,
Yeah.
that alone sort of lends a lot of credence to the idea that the company isn't managed well.
Yeah. I
Um,
can see what you're saying.
so that kind of made a lot of the sort of the idea that there's a legitimate grievance just gets really like believable. Uh,
I think you almost look at it like strategically, like you're showing weakness now, and that like changes the whole situation when you show like that kind of weakness. Like almost
yeah,
like a, I can respect it. I think on the base human level, like there's multiple levels. I feel like I think on the base human level, I feel really bad for the girl for anybody trying to kill themselves is like a really sad situation. It's just like uh when we're talking about people thinking like a multi-billion-dollar company is going to instantly collapse overnight, it's just not like the reality of any kind of situation in the world. Like
it's
if they don't have a war chest that's worth like multiple $1 million, they're an incredibly poorly managed company. You know?
yeah, like I feel like the strat you would take in their situation once like the termination's gone through is like one of the big things that people complain about is that they got some of the talent to sort of make the announcement in a video, and a lot of people didn't like that. But I think that's probably the way to go, regardless, because I
Mhm.
think that the significance of all these behind the scenes guys making the announcement just would never show through.
No.
So I think you stick with the say nothing, do nothing strat where you
Mhm.
release a public statement that says, you know, the same corporate bullshit we're all used to, but everyone complains about, even though the alternative is they talk to us like they're a person, which is worse,
Horrible.
in my opinion, and something people also complain about. So, we should get on message about what we actually want from,
Right.
from these organizations.
Okay, here's the thing too, like when you're talking about like the talent releasing like the message and talking about it, if I'm a corporate guy, I don't want to be seen. Like I don't like that's one of the biggest things that there's advantage of being one of these like no name corporate guys is you are behind the firing line at all times. Like you have like this wave of people that are in front of you that are going to take all the heat, they're going to do all that, and as fucked up as that sounds, that's what I would do. As I would have everybody in front of me before they even come to me. Like I would
Yeah,
have like all the heat go through all these channels before it even gets to me.
yeah. And like that's a part of the strat that they did. The issue was that they chose to escalate it. Like, I don't
Yeah.
think the damage done by Selene sort of making it obvious that she wasn't leaving on good terms was there. Like, they had so little to gain from escalating this and so much to lose that
Yeah.
it makes her like again. I'm contrarian, so I went in like being a lot more scrutinizing on her side than I did the company side. But seeing the company just fuck up these very basic like corporate maneuvers, the weirdest part to me is whenever they escalated and made all this information public, they said that their legal team had like okayed that, which just makes
Mhm.
me wonder where are these people getting their fucking lawyers who are like recommending that they like air all these grievances publicly. That's not what you do. That's not the strat ever. You know?
I don't want to say it's probably like this is pure speculation at this point, but I think it's because people in Japan are a bunch of boomers. They're like a bunch of like old like you have this old ass lawyer like just tell them how it is, Sonny. Just tell them how it is, Sonny Jim. They'll have to listen to you. You're the big corporation, and like the fucking intern is like, no, dude, don't do that. No, no. And I'm
I
like, we'll be listening to our lawyers. Thank you very
I've
much.
I've heard a lot of people say this is from like a culture clash, but I don't know that I buy that because I think it's like I don't because you say that that would be a Japanese thing to have like some old boomer lawyer who would recommend that you go out, but you don't see other big Japanese studios do these kinds of like we're just going to like turn this into a public cat fight, you know?
You're
Cat
right.
fight's really underselling it, but you know, hey, pal, I just made a pun selling it.
Yeah.
Anyways, you don't really see that happen. I think it's because like these CEOs, the owners, and the management just got in way over their head and are either like in a state where they don't know what to do, or they have made so much money in such a short amount of time they don't give a fuck. And this company can actually crash and burn, and they just don't care anymore.
That's true. And like I could see it being like the CEO actually getting mad about the situation and being like, I'm going to say something because I'm big and like it's like that, like I'm
Yeah,
big and I'm strong and
yeah,
I should be able to say what I want. Like you said, not giving a fuck, but just getting mad on the internet. I think
yeah.
that's the like lesson you gotta learn through all this. Don't get mad on the internet. It never works out. Never
Yeah.
never say
Yeah.
anything.
True. Never say anything. Have no friends. Live alone. Go find a like a lean-to in the mountains. Abandon all technology.
Dude, with the kind of money he's making, he could have a mansion in the mountains with its own personal fucking electricity source, and he could have like every book, the first edition of every book ever made. He could just sit there in perfect silence and achieve enlightenment. But instead,
Yeah.
he's getting mad on the internet.
And so he's getting mad on the internet. I don't know. He did release a video where he did the very Japanese corporation thing where he like bows and does the whole apology, promises to do better in
Mhm.
front of a camera, right? So I don't know
Okay, I got a question for you, man.
what.
Who's the next Guilty Gear character?
Um, do we want to change the title and just move on from drama?
I think we've pretty milked it. We milked it. Unless you want to
Okay,
start talking about like Bosch, like horse porn, and like fucking two
drama
man.
has been milked. We talk about guilty gear lore now.
Drama has been milked, and now we drink. And then type in like the little like parentheses, guilty gear.
Speculation. Uh,
Oh, now this is what we're really good at. This is you viewers.
guilty
You
gear
thought
lore.
drama was what we're good at.
I highly doubt it.
I got connections to Daisuke himself in his ivory tower,
Okay,
and he told me it's gonna be ABBA.
ABBA would be kind of cool. How do you think they would change her up?
I don't know. They're probably gonna change their entire gimmick. Because like I've played the old. I mean, we both played the old Guilty Gears, but I played ABBA in the old
I
Guilty
did not
Gear.
play a lot
And
of the old years. I don't think you played a lot either. But yeah,
no, but I played enough to like know how she feels, and like that character does not feel like a Guilty Gear character until she gets the grab. Like she is so. I know that's the whole gimmick is that she's slow, she's weak, da 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 da. But I
hmm,
don't think the majority of people want to play a character that just is ass until you get them in a very specific circumstance that like lets you. I mean, you can also pop a blood pack, obviously, like,
yeah.
but like that's a resource. You know what I'm saying? There's two options. Either you waste your resource moment one and try and get them into a fucking situation that's like one hit kill, or you try
So
and get a grab.
like obviously they would if they preserve her gimmick as it is now. It's
Mhm.
very obvious that they would make it so her base mode isn't as weak as it is in Accent Core, right?
Yeah.
So the question is, like, is this gimmick something they would keep around altogether? Because like they're very obviously they've changed almost every returning character's gimmicks like
Yeah.
absurdly a lot. Uh, so the question is mode switch a gimmick that could work in a Strive design space? And if so, is it like distinct enough from like is it distinct enough from the other stance characters? I think it
Mm.
probably is, but I don't know if you can justify limiting it without making it as critical as it is, you know?
Yeah, and here like the biggest thing I think of the problem is actually like I know like Guilty Gear accent, like when you get to the highest levels, it's still a very high damage game. But like on the lower levels, you can still like play around and da 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 da. I think
Mhm.
Guilty Gear Strive is just raw. Just the damage is too high to try and get your mode switch off. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll be dead before you ever get the chance to get the mode switch off. Like fucking Soul will 75% you in like 2 seconds or fucking Nagaruki will 75% you in 2 seconds. And yo, you got the mode switch off. Either the mode switch is going to be so absolutely absurd that you could one tap someone when you fucking switch modes, or
Okay.
you'd lose.
Okay. So the balancing around mode switch would not survive as it is now. Either like the difference would have to be a lot slighter and her normal ABBA would have to be way better.
Mhm.
Or it would have to be really like trivially easy to go into her other mode. Here's an idea. She starts in Moroha mode, but she
Mhm.
works like Nago in reverse, where she has a meter that's constantly ticking down that she needs to keep up, or else she becomes weak.
Okay, so if she gets like knocked down twice, she's like out of her Moroho mode and she becomes really weak.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the problem with that is if she's really strong in that mode, the pro players will like. I mean, maybe because like the only other thing I was thinking is just like a speed mechanic, right? Where she like because one of the things I think about with like ABBA in general is like when she finally does pop that mode, she becomes
Mm-hmm.
like this really fast character. And instead of doing all this rest of this shit, maybe there's some gimmicks like different moves and stuff. But I think the main thing that should be focused on is like how fast she gets. Like when she pops her mode, she should be like fucking Milia with like 3, 4 air dashes and shit, like something nuts.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, the question is like, why wouldn't you just pick Milia? I guess you could just sit like she'd have better buttons, though.
Yeah, with her like giant ass key and shit, she'd have like incredible. And I think her damage would probably be higher in her mode switch. She'd probably be like a fucking high damage character, if I had to guess. But the main thing is like, do you think the design is cool enough? And I definitely think the design is cool enough to come back. I love her design.
Yeah, there's definitely a very dedicated like fan base. There's this one weird, I'm a weirdo because we're small time and we're much weirder. But there is a guy who just uploads like uh Guilty Gear gameplay
Mhm.
um until ABBA is.
Guilty Gear
Anyway, there's
X.
there's this guy who's been releasing a video every day until ABBA's released, and that's his like gimmick. Their
Mm.
gimmick. Uh, so like there's a dedicated audience, but I think it's a bit like Bridget, where the redesign also has to be able to like really attract a lot of the existing audience slash attract new people.
Mm. I don't say this in like a fucking anti SCW or like really like neckbeard right wing thing. But if you
Mm-hmm.
just slap transgender on ABBA, I believe it. They got that like trans girl energy. Again,
I I
not
could
saying that in like a rude way or anything.
I could see that. The issue is like I feel like at that point it'd feel like a pandering gimmick, and like there's some
Yeah,
people who would let themselves be pandered to. No, no, duh. But I feel like it wouldn't get like the same
as
kind
much
of
hype.
wide. Yeah, I don't think it'd be as widespread as Bridget's redesign.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if I'm being real with you,
Hmm.
I wish it was fucking Zappa. I think Zappa's a much more cool character in general. I don't think he'd ever survive in Guilty Gear Strive. I don't think he would be able to have as much as he did and survive. But he is so cool and so unique. Like, you want to talk about a stance character? That motherfucker has like 5 stances.
Yeah, yeah, he would definitely change drastically. He'd probably get like the sin treatment. They take all the
Oh,
shit and just be like, okay, this is just the animations for like a dude who's fundamentally just big buttons, and like some normal ass shit, you know?
yeah. I mean, there is like he could be like that like last like character release of a season where it's like here is this fucking like wild character like Asuka or whatever that basically plays like
Mm,
single player. He could be like one of them single player characters.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Real question.
mhm.
Real question. What are the new characters going to be? Because neither of us actually know dog shit about this game's lore. But if we use like other fighting game rosters as like a reference, what could they add to Strive that would like expand the roster and make it more interesting?
Do you have an idea? Because I got one, but I'll let you go first. I've been talking a lot.
I actually don't. So I'm glad you have an idea because I would have to look at some other games rosters.
Okay, so like I would say how that man is kind of like the main villain of like Strive.
Hmm.
And is Eno attached? Or well, not Strive, but Guilty Gear in general. Is Eno attached to that man?
Yeah.
Like, is she like a?
Yeah.
I think they go the Bison route where they have like the three henchmen of the main bad guy. The game needs a little bit more villains. We need like a really we need like a
Oh.
Balrog Vega type
Okay.
situation.
Now, as far as okay, because like that doesn't help. Um, as far as the lore goes,
Uh,
uh, Asuka, that man worked with Eno,
okay.
Raven, and to a lesser extent Jacko. And I think Happy Cass is supposed to be the new big villain. But they could do that and sort of still have some more villainous characters. I don't think anyone's eager for fucking Raven to come back.
I am. What are you talking about? I love my freaks. That dude was coming in his fucking burst screenshot. I love that shit so much. I love Raven. Oh man, that character's so fucking funny. Oh man, the fucking masochist. Um, yeah, and that he'd be very interesting in Strive because again, because the damage is so high, like
Mm-hmm.
his like punishment mechanic would have to be like he goes off. Like when he
How
gets
does it work?
comboed for
How does it
75%.
work? Tell me.
Um, let me see. I think he has either a stance or something that where he takes damage, he gets like a certain kind of bonus or certain kind of stacks. And when he has the stacks, yeah, you can see his face just starts getting more and more cum shot. And when he's full cum shot, he's like way stronger. He's making the Hego face in his screenshot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Actually, yeah, that would
what's up?
be well. Okay, to get back to the topic, what for like an original character, is there any
Uh,
like other fighting game character you would as like an archetype? Like, because I know you really like Platinum the Trinity and Blaze Blue,
mhm,
but like part of her gimmick is already in Faust as an item throw character, right?
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Healing,
Who? Mei
healing.
Ling?
Like like that girl in Blaze Blue that you play sometimes, the robot girl that heals herself with the
Oh, oh my God. I don't remember her name.
like a character whose damage is not great, but they just keep like coming back like a fucking zombie. That would piss
Uh,
people off. That would make someone
I was
so
about to
angry.
say, I feel like there's never been a character with that gimmick who hasn't made people incredibly mad. Because you have like Elena, right,
Yeah.
from Street Fighter, and I don't know shit about Street Fighter 4, but I know everybody hates Elena, right?
I don't think having a villain is necessarily a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe eventually they nerf it, but like I think having like a villainous character is kind of like part of its the game's like lore. You know,
Bro,
like Nagaruki is definitely like for me, Guilty Gear's
no,
villain.
for me, he's a villain, motherfucker. You shut up. You know how much I hate that.
You're
Oh
right.
my God.
I would love to see
Nagoriyuki
Rain.
is my fucking kryptonite. I hate that. I hate that fucking character. I don't even think he's broken. He hasn't been broken since like the middle of season 2. But I hate him anyways.
He's just so like net. Like when you think of like what makes a character, like it's not like he's not like fringe cases, right? Like he's good in this niche. He's just the
Mm-hmm.
all arounder. That's kind of I hate all arounder characters. I hate bullshit all arounders that just do whatever the fuck they want. I hate
He,
it.
he's a, he's an all rounder who doesn't seem like he should be because
Like mhm.
he's a big body.
Yeah,
He's a big body character, but he's also an all rounder because he has one of the best fireballs in the game, and like his movement is bad on its face, but he's given a bunch of tools and gimmicks to like move as fast as he needs to, anyways.
yeah. It doesn't even feel like when you're playing Nagaruki, he's slow. Like he does not feel slow when you're playing against that character. He's just going.
Hate him so
I
much.
would like to see like Bang, some character like Bang with like the nails and stuff like that, or like a
Oh yeah,
blade.
like a movement, like Answer, right? Because Answer had a similar gimmick to Bang.
Yeah, I loved Answer and fucking Guilty Gear Xrd. I actually was one of my mains. I loved. Oh my god, it's so fun going fast. It's like Naruto gotta go fast shit.
Actually, yeah, that is sort of a gimmick that isn't really used. There's no like dropping traps and teleporting character, right?
Yeah, I need that. I need that.
Okay, so that could be like an archetype for an original character. Because I know there's some people who really liked Answer whenever people talk about Exerd, but whenever
Mhm.
people are talking about returning characters, he never really turns up from my experience. You know?
I I think Guilty Gear is very like 40 heavy. I would say it's a very 40 heavy game. And like
Yeah.
Answer's cool. He's like 90s cool too. Like he has a big sword, big hair, fucking swinging on you. Like he's not like when you look at the roster of best loopers or anything, you're not gonna choose Answer as your guy that sticks out. You know what I'm saying? He's not Abba who looks like fucking kind of hot and has a big key. He's not fucking Bridget when she was there, this cute little like waifu kind of character. It turns out to be like a trap, not trap. They're trans in this one. Sorry.
No, Bridget's trans. Yeah, like he has a cool gimmick where he's like a ninja but also a secretary slash office worker, but that's sort of a gimmick that doesn't translate well to like the immediate image.
Yeah, you got to be mature. Like you got to let him sit in. He's like a fine wine. When you start like looking at him and you're like, oh man, this character has a lot.
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, fine wine.
Look at
Yeah.
him. He's so fucking cool.
He's so cool. He's so cool. You're talking like fucking Eric Cartman.
I fucking love him.
All right.
Uh,
Uh, let's look at some like go through some fighting games I got. Think about characters.
I got one more too. When you're after you choose.
Okay, you go ahead because I had to think about this.
Okay, so you got to go to JoJo's fighting game, like the old JoJo's fighting game.
Oh my god.
I forget what the name of what it's called. I forget what. There's an old JoJo's fighting game, and there's this low tier character. But what she has is these things called like the I think they're like ropes or some kind of like what is it? I need to see the roster real fast. JoJo fighting game arcade, yeah.
Um, is it
All
All
Star
Star?
Battle. I think it might be. Okay, yeah. It's a girl character. Where is she? She has like a red hood. Oh,
Maria?
right there, Maria. Her gimmick. You need to look up Maria and JoJo real fast. Her gimmicks are so cool. Oh my god, she's like she's one of those characters. She's kind of like she's a little bit like Foss, but she's not because she's not like an item throw character. But she's like a fill the screen with bullshit character. She's almost like what's that character from Skullgirls? The fucking like one with the top hat.
Peacock.
Peacock. We need a peacock character. I mean, I know like Elfet's almost like a peacock character where she fills the screen a little bit, but
Yeah, not really.
I
But
want
yeah.
disgusting. I want the fucking her to just toss random shit out. Maybe look at highlights so you can get the full flavor of what she's like. You're gonna see like she's low tier as fuck in this game. Blah blah blah. Don't play her. But and the power level of JoJo's a little bit hot. Much it's much higher than others.
Uh
Let me see. Oh, that's from a different game. Ew.
oh
Ooh,
really?
what?
I mean,
That's
like
all
you
from.
brought it up. You brought it up, dude.
Sorry, let me.
Uh let me see if I can't get
find it, but you search your fighting games, I'll find it. I have like, and this is one thing, viewer. I have like a really weird level of knowledge about random fighting games. Like I don't
It's not
consider,
even particularly knowledgeable. It's just random things will stick in his head.
yeah,
Some
think
other
cool
things will
things,
not. Some other
cool
things
things.
will not stick in his. They just
Things that matter.
leak over your ear. They just gets all over your face and chest, and you're just like, oh, more. What?
Uh,
What?
what's up?
Nothing. Nothing. Just all over your what?
I'm looking at what you're looking at. I'm looking for
I'm not.
delineate.
I'm not looking at nothing.
You gotta find a character that you choose. I've been choosing the characters. It's your turn.
Sigh. I don't know fighting games. I'm a weirdo.
Okay. You play what fighting games have you played? You played. What do you want from like Blaze Blue? Who do you want to come back? Do you want 12 new
Ooh,
wave?
who would I want from Blaze Blue as like that? Whose gimmick from Blaze Blue would I want in a character in Guilty Gear?
That's a really good one because there's a lot of fun characters in that game. You know?
Yeah, you chose Celica,
Yeah,
robot lady who's a puppet character, but not really.
she's just a basic
Um,
bitch character with healing.
this bitch already exists in like three different forms or two.
Yeah, we can get another puppet character, like a real another puppet character, like but different.
Yeah, I feel like Strive has like a pretty decent roster as far as the basic archetypes go, so you could double up
Yeah.
on puppet characters. I don't know how base I don't know how this guy controls. I know he is a puppet character, but I think she's more like Death from Grand Blue, where it's
Mm.
not something you're directly moving a lot. It's more like
Mm.
you just push buttons and it happens on different parts of the screen. Dig?
Let's see. What the fuck? What is this shit called? Dude, I just want you to see this fucking Maria character.
Well, too bad. You're just gonna be stuck on it. Never gonna find it, and it's just gonna make you feel stupid. You're
Dude,
gonna feel
I
foolish.
need to bust. I need to bust.
You're gonna feel foolish. You're gonna ask for the bust all over your lower back, and it's not gonna come, and you're just gonna be like, I hate it here. Now my skin's gonna
It
get dry, and I'm gonna be upset.
it's fucking
Ooh.
it's stuck in my urethra. What?
Oh, she's already kind of in the game.
You want
You know,
Lacerda in the game?
I want I want an expanded version of the her shadow clone thing. I want that to be like a
Yeah.
gimmick that's really worthwhile.
Because she does not feel as like a deep as like other Blazing characters, I guess is what I'm saying. Like it feels like that Shadow Clone should have went like 300 ways, you know?
Yeah, I don't know, or maybe like there were three different cancels from each one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because from my understanding is that she's pretty weak, and I don't think it's necessarily because she doesn't have as many options, or maybe that is exactly why. I think there were some versions, especially early on, where she was busted because she had like one move where she had way too much return. And I
Mm.
think, you know, this is the wrong place for any discussion of balance. Like Lord Knight's who you're looking for, and he's probably way the fuck over in successful, you know, content creator land. Not with chumps like us. But I think
He got
he
top
went
8 right
over it with
by the way.
someone, and I think it was literally this move, like carried her into top tiers until they
Mm.
nerfed it.
I hate that kind of character. The character that's just good because of one fucking move, like not because of the gimmick or anything. Like as much as you hate Zato, like Zato is like interesting because he has like so much going on with him.
I
Like
mean, I don't
with
hate
everything.
Zato, but I also used to be an Axel main, so I never.
Struggle.
I got a free ride out of that hate train before he was fucking kneecapped. Kneecap Happy Chaos, just kneecap this motherfucker. Just make him dog shit. I don't care anymore. I'm done playing around. Make him dog shit. Make it so his gun starts with no bullets and his legs are broken.
Okay, but like he's really cool though. Have you considered that?
No. No, just kill him. Just kill him. Just make him start with no bullets. And his gun is like on the opposite side of the screen. He has to go pick it up at the start of the game before he can shoot.
That would be a really cool change. Like he keeps everything else, but like you have to get past the guy to get the gun.
That's actually like that'd be I don't think it'd work for Strive, but that could be like a 90s gimmick for a character is they have a weapon but they have to go get it. And it's like somewhere really far away from them, either all the way back behind them or all the way in front of them at the start of the round.
And I really like that too, because I can imagine like Happy Chaos just like as a joke tossing his weapon across the screen.
At those round start.
Yeah, intro. Oh shit! I gotta go grab that. Fuck! I found the video from Maria, by the way.
Go ahead.
She has like a full screen command grab. First of all, she has a full screen command grab. She has like these like things that cut. So she has this like fucking chain that comes out and like just falls down. What the fuck is going on in that? I don't even what. That's Kakawin. He has like the what's it called? So you see that chain that comes down? She can hold that in the air wherever she wants. You see, and she just has like full like screen control with this like object, and I love it. And it's just her whole thing is just filling space, and I love characters that just fill space. That's why I like Johnny.
I mean, you hated it when I was playing Axel. I fill a ton of space with that with that character.
You don't feel it cool. You just put your sights out. It's not cool.
Sigh. Why don't you play Oscar then? Why did you switch to Johnny?
Because Oscar's not as like forward facing, like as easy as Johnny, I guess. Johnny has like normal tools, to be real with you.
Yeah, understandable. Understandable. It would be a big pain in the ass, and I know you. As much shit as I give it, at a certain point, you just gotta accept that you don't have the commitment to like specialize in a single character. At least not for the amount of time it would take to really unlock him.
Yeah, and like, what do you unlock? Like, you're just gonna piss. Like, if I got good at Asuka, like, it would not be fun for you. It would not like I know like Johnny's annoying, but like sitting holding like a fucking block string for half an hour while I just like sort through my spells, like that's not what you do to your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Johnny isn't annoying. I just am not experienced with my new main with Jacko. I've been I need to play like that's the thing. I'm going through the whole old man cycle where it's like, oh, I just don't have it in me to, grind out sessions like I did when I was young, a year ago. You know?
I'm doing the same thing with Raven. I'm like, dude, this character's too hard. I need to switch. But I refuse to switch.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that's the thing. You say you refuse to switch, give it another month, you'll be like, man, fucking answer's so cool. You see, I'm dedicated. I will stick to my character and I will fucking learn them, or I will just break my head on the brick wall in front of me.
I don't think you've ever played a character like Jacko. I don't think you dive the depths of the hard character.
Oh no, yet. I'm not even scratching the surface with this bitch yet.
Yeah, and like it feels like you have to with that character. Like it's one of those things where some characters they're very deep, but like you don't have to if you don't want to. You can play very basic Guilty Gear with Johnny, but like with Jacko, it's like no, you cannot play very basic Guilty Gear with Jacko. No.
Yeah.
You gotta play Jacko's game.
The big thing I need to do, honestly, is watch more high-level gameplay. I just need to figure out like better strings and better combos. Or I say I just need to do that. I need to do that, but I also need to watch how they play neutral and what tools they actually use. Because one thing I don't use, like, at all is holding Servant. I'll just immediately put it down and then try and kick it. Which is, like, really stunting the amount of options I get, especially on Oki.
Oh yeah, when they're down, like it's hard because like I get why you don't naturally go for it because you can't block when you have it out, right? Like, when you're
Yeah.
holding the minion. Yeah, so like
You
it's
also
like one of those things that doesn't come up too much.
it's it's a timing thing because you have to hold it. So you just had to hold it for a couple extra frames to get in the hold state before you throw. You can't just do the quarter circle button and then immediately move on to your next thing.
I wish they would bring back Jacko's old mechanic if we're talking about new characters. I want Jacko's houses back. I
Okay,
really do.
I hear a lot of things from a lot of people. I have never heard anyone ask for that bag. I've heard people ask for fucking old Elfelt bag. I've never heard anyone say, you know what we need? We need Jacko from fucking Exerd.
It was so funny. It was so funny to watch. Just like a fucking storm of characters coming out.
The fuck is
Excuse me.
what
I
the
am
fuck?
so sick.
Yeah, I have not heard anyone ask for fucking Jacko back, old Jacko back.
Everyone's asking for Slayer too.
I mean, I feel like he's got a bit of an iconic design. I'm an idiot. I can't
Yeah.
find her. Is she not on this? Oh, there she is. Oh yeah.
Her and Dizzy are like the characters that I would hate to play against, but I would love to have in the game. I think Dizzy is actually really cool.
What's her gimmick? Because I just know her design and her lore.
So basically, she's like a zoner, and she has like two sets of like special moves: the fire and the ice, and they're the same kind of moves except they do different things when they're out. And it's basically she just has a lot of moves. Like that's her whole gimmick, because she has like a lot of moves she can choose from. She's another fill the screen character.
We gotta. Why don't you like Mortal Kombat, dude? From
Oh,
my understanding, a lot of Mortal Kombat's are just Zoner's Paradises where you just throw fireballs like crazy.
well, it's like
I
I
don't think
don't
that's all of them,
like
from my
everyone doing that.
understanding. What?
I don't like everyone doing that. I just want to be the one doing that. You know, I want to be like
I just
the
like it when
person.
I win.
I mean, like there's still a win state for the other person. Like they get him, they beat my ass. But like I like being the one playing keep out. I like playing keep out. But if everyone's keeping
But
out, then there's no like keep out.
you don't play Axel. I played Axel.
Johnny is just cooler, Axel. Johnny is just way
He is
cooler, Axel.
not even close to Axel's game plan. Different
He
win
that
states,
makes him cooler.
different characters entirely, not even close.
I also like mid-range zoners versus full-screen zoners. I like putting you in a box, like in this little box that you're in, and I just keep poking you in this box. Ha ha ha! Just slash it at you.
I didn't play that game enough to you know what there really isn't? Is
Huh?
characters like Crusader who changed the
Just a
wall.
wall.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wall mechanic. There's not really a wall. There's not really like a wall generator type character in Strive right now. I don't know if that's something they want because a big part is that they don't like. Because I mean, like the wall break thing would indicate that part of their calculation is that
Mhm.
they don't want people to have looping corner pressure, right? They want it to where you
Yeah.
get congratulations, you got them in the corner. Here's your reward, big damage. Now you're back in neutral because that's where the fun part of the game is, according to their design, at
Yeah.
least, right? So I don't know if they would ever sort of have this kind of creating a wall gimmick because there's a couple characters in games who do this, right?
Uh-huh.
Right? I'm not.
I
That's
I
a
think
question.
part of it. Yeah, there is like Argonos, Argonos from fucking Killer Instinct. There's the Crusader, obviously. There's probably one I'm not thinking of, but there's been a couple characters who do this. I think the
There's
big thing with it.
There's
Oh,
that
go ahead.
Street Fighter character who does something a little like it. Urian, doesn't he make a wall? It's not like the
Yes.
wall, but it's like a hitbox, right?
Yes, it's a hitbox. It blocks projectiles. It like you bounce off it and it juggles you. It's probably the coolest wall they have, if I'm being honest.
I've got to figure out if I can dark mode. Ah, I'm too stupid.
I have a dark mode, but it doesn't work on every website, so it's like it's not even that good. So I
You'd
can't
think
really
on
talk to you.
Google Chrome the dark mode will work on Google, right? You know that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, of course. But I don't think it does. I think when we were talking about the wall mechanic though, like I don't like even beyond like the like you're saying, like not even beyond, but like in the same vein, the ethos of Guilty Gear is kind of that freedom aspect. Like you have all these wacky characters with their wacky gimmick, and it's almost like you're tossing your gimmick against somebody else's, but like you're still in control. Like you still have your gimmick that you're tossing out, you know? And
Mhm.
a wall is like, no. Like if someone's playstyle is to jump back and like toss things and that's like what they want to do, a wall just stops that. It's like, no, you can't have fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of fundamentally what these sorts of wall things are, is it puts you in the same situation you would normally get by putting them in the corner, but without having to do the work, you know?
Yeah.
And corner pressure and strive just works completely differently, just because of the wall break and how much that just sort of changes stuff up.
What else do you ask for in Strive? I would like Viking's mechanic back where she could do stuff on block. I know everyone hated it.
Again, I like it. What, dude? You are just looking for everything people hate in the old game. You're like, why don't we have it anymore? Like you want fucking Jacko's old like fucking tower defense mini game gimmick. You want Baiken attacking at a block punishing you for playing the game.
I want Arakune back too.
Okay, now I know you're fucking trolling.
As long as it's only available to me, I would love Arakune back. Like if they just added
If
him in
I
the game,
got
that'd
a
be way too
character only I could play. Fuck, man.
That's why I want to be rich so I can fund a video game and just like the only like I don't know why more rich people don't do that. If you were able to fund an entire video game, they would let you have your own character. They would have to. Like you could just say, "No, I'm not going to fund it if you don't."
I'm
And like,
I'm
oh, go ahead.
I'm not normally the like type of guy to just hate on Elon Musk for no reason. Well, okay, there's plenty of good reasons, but I'm not like the reflexive Musk hater. But it
Mhm.
does sound like him to be like, I'm going to make a fighting game, and I'm going to be in it, but only I'm allowed to play him as me. That just makes sense, right?
If he
And
did it,
and he's
I would
just
love him.
super overpowered.
Because like, who you're gonna ruin like 20 people's experience, right? Because you're gonna log in one day, you're gonna play a couple matches, you're gonna beat someone's ass with your overpowered character, and you're gonna go to bed. And you still may lose because like you're ass at the fighting game. Like most people who would ask for that have spent their whole lives grinding out money, so they're never gonna be good enough to be like pros or anything. So why not?
Okay. You know what they should do, which they're not going to, because they already gave Giovanna her new move, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they should have done for her new move is make it so she can throw out her dog like come Howland threw out the spirit ball.
Oh
Like not exactly the
yeah,
same because the dog it's like a dog, so it'd go faster
yeah.
and be more movement. Wait, why are we hold up?
What's up?
Why as such it makes don't tell me the Secret of Mana soundtrack destroyed the stream again.
Secret of man. Ah! Ah! Also, I think the dog could probably work like the fucking one lady in Blaze Blue, like the one who has a staff that comes back and
Oh,
forth.
yeah, like lychee.
Yeah,
Yeah, that can make. I mean, again, they're not gonna do it. They already gave Giovanna her new move, and they're like, Giovanna is a character who punches and kicks, and that is who
you also
Giovanna
see like
is.
frame perfect.
That's who she'll always. Um,
I hate characters where you have to like do like 30 motions in like 2 seconds. Fucking that Giovanna is like definitely that character. Down forward, down back, down forward, down back.
she's not that bad.
Just
Like
annoying to do her new
the
moves.
and the thing is like that's only with her new move. Like this Chave
Yeah,
command dash that enhances her other moves. That's like the only thing that really like made her APM go up.
I liked how simple he was. He was. Now I feel like I'm not doing something right when I don't add it to my gameplay. I might go back to Giovanna, honestly. I think the character's so cool.
I thought you liked characters where you get to fill the one of the very few characters that has literally none, zero projectiles. Mister, I like filling up the screen with bullshit.
I like so much of fighting. You gotta like this is my genre. You can point out any of these characters, and I'd be like, yeah, I like that character. That character's sick. Besides that,
Um, yeah, I was about to say, what about this motherfucker?
I mean, I don't hate him. It's just that you play him, so I can't play him. Like it's one of those things where it's like when you,
I don't.
it's
What are
like
you
maybe.
talking about? I don't play him. I've never played him. I
Oh, you
literally
talking about Happy
bought him.
Chaos?
Yeah, I don't play him because I I have him to learn how to like parse his fucking animations.
You know what's
Because
fucked up,
otherwise,
Ben?
what?
I think you'd be a Happy Chaos player. I think you'd be a good Happy Chaos player. I think it's the
Maybe
fucked up part about it.
I'd really have to. I'd have to grind the muscle memory because he seems a very muscle memory intensive character.
Mhm.
Because you've got to be able to get your like reloads in on reflex on like certain strings. To my understanding, I have no idea. We had that one segment in a video where we were just going to show like Happy Chaos doing a really normal string, and I couldn't fucking figure out how to do it, so we gave up and turned it into a different joke.
Oh, dude, Happy Chaos is just like he's okay. Here's my biggest problem with Happy Chaos. His gimmick is not cool enough for how annoying he is.
Yeah.
Like auto zoning is just not cool enough to justify like a puppet character being broken, right? Like Zato being broken. Having a little guy with you that can do different kind of things and shit, that's pretty cool. Watching it happen is pretty cool. Happy Chaos is boring to watch. That character is capital B boring to watch. No spark animations, no big animations. The fucking pistol.
Boring to
What?
watch characters. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I don't disagree in the slightest. Happy Chaos is a boring ass character to watch play the game.
Yeah, and Nagaruki is basically a Street Fighter character when he gets you in the corner. He just like throw loops you. It's literally just throw loops. Oh,
I
fucking,
hate
I'm gonna
that
make you guess.
motherfucker so much. You know what? I've realized my hatred for Nagoriyuki does not even come from the character in the slightest at all. It's not the way he plays, it's not what he does. What I've realized is it is because between every Nagoriyuki main in the world, there is about half a human being's worth of decency that they had to share between them. And fucking Hotashi hogs all of it.
I,
Every
I,
every fucking Nagoriyuki player you will play is a fucking scoundrel. You will sit there and outplay them for 20 minutes because they had the highest health pool in the game, or they used to. Now it's a kind of iffy because they take more damage to the blood meter, and they're actually fine about whatever. You're sitting there outplaying them for 20 fucking minutes. This motherfucker's still not dead. He's popped twice, and then he gets you in one last 50-50 on that last pop because, of course, a fucking guard crushes. He gets you in the 50-50 with a super and wins, and then he starts teabagging you.
oh, dude. I think that's my biggest frustration in fighting games when you know the person that you're fighting thinks they're better than you. It like actually peeves me when I'm like watching like someone who and like he's just going full monkey mode and he's knowing his head he's like, oh dude, I'm the coolest guy in the fucking world. You're not the coolest guy in the world. You're an
I'm
asshole.
I'm the coolest guy in the world. You can't be the coolest guy in the world because that's me, and I'm not you.
You fucking asshole. You're not literally him, all right? I'm Ryan Gosling. I'm Ryan Gosling in fucking Blade Runner 2044, whatever the fuck it's called. You're not. God damn. Yeah, let's reverse the question. What character are we taking out of Guilty Gear?
uh,
Is it Nago or is it Happy Chaos?
this
Or is it
bitch.
Chip Zanoff?
It's this bitch. She doesn't add anything. She doesn't do anything special or anything cool.
She doesn't even have a fucking gimmick. She has big buttons. I don't think
And
swords are a gimmick.
yeah, yeah. Take this bitch out. Like she's really fucking good, and her mains are still too fucking distracted because Daisuke hasn't enacted the master plan. We go over the master plan in one of our videos, dear viewers, that you should go watch.
Yeah.
that will destroy the competitive scene for Guilty Gear forever. He hasn't enacted that, so she's just sitting here fucking rotting away. Like, there's
You know
Zondo,
what?
and what other good like Ram mains? I know you don't follow the competitive scene very much, and to be honest, I haven't lately either. But
It's kind of peaked after. I think I'll probably watch during Evo when it picks up. But for right now, it's peaked.
yeah, all right. That might be a new topic to move on to because we've been banging on about Guilty Gear for a while. And
Yeah,
I
the one
haven't
thing
been
I
playing
will
it a
say
whole
though,
lot. Hmm.
they need to give her the Birdie treatment, right? Where he's like super buff and super like menacing, and then he comes back the next game and he's fat and like a joke character. They need to do that with Ramithal. She needs to just go through her chalk phase where she can't even swing her swords without getting tired. She could still be good. She could still be good, but I want her main to not want to play her anymore. It's just overweight.
What the fuck? Dude, in Guilty Gear Strive 2, they should just make Ram morbidly obese. What
The
the
same size as Gold Lewis. Gold Lewis's model with Ram's head on it. Daisuke, hire me now.
I gotta fill up my water. Okay, entertain the audience. The audience of two people who are just sitting here and probably are like chatbots.
Huh? Okay, so my thought process right here is like she could play just like Gold Lewis where she swings her casket but she swings her swords and she's just a menace. I don't care if she's not like she's bad. I hope she's good. I hope that the top tier players are watching Ram on her windscreen eat chicken wings and that's going to be like her windscreen. It's just her just chomping down on some wings and she's like, "Oh, thanks for the meal." Dude, I would fucking love it. And that's another topic altogether. Why is there not more fat women characters? There's fucking buff women, there's skinny women, there's Aki, which is basically like this woman has cancer and she's dying on the fucking like they have everything else, but they don't have a little chalky lady. They don't got like a Brunhilde, named Brunhilde, and she comes out and she's like, "Oh, here's a brew," and she like spills the beer on you, and that's her like attack pattern and shit. Well, wouldn't that be kind of like hype? You know what I'm saying? People they don't understand. They'll never
They don't.
understand.
Nobody understands, man. Nobody understands. Uh,
I don't know what
actually,
it's based
ironically, it would be lore appropriate because Ramlethal is known for eating a lot of burgers. So the sequel is just she's had one too many burgers and now she's Big Ram.
on. And I would love it if Daisuke went full like neckbeard and was like, she hit the wall. She hit 30 years old, and now she's obese because she can't stop eating burgers.
I'm pretty sure she's like 2 years old or something because she's like
Hit 30
she's
years
got
old. She hit
one.
the wall.
She hit the wall. She got 4 years old. Now she hit the wall.
Too busy fucking Soul and Kai at the same time. Fucking whore.
It goes full incel. What the? This guy's like a 40-year-old man, dude.
Bro, that's what we need for an archetype. We need an incel character like it's part of the mainstream now. Like this is like a fucking full-on movement. Why can't we just have a guy who just hates women and just thinks that he can't get laid? Oh, dude, that'd be
Just
hard.
shows up in the pre-match screen against all the female characters, and he's just like, "Fuck off, hole," and then he leaves, and you lose them by default.
He gets a damage buff when he fights against the female character and just beats the shit out of him. He just starts pulling out fucking dating site statistics. You see this? Women rate 80% of men unattractive on dating sites. Oh,
What would be his actual gameplay gimmick other than he just does? Is that his entire gimmick? Is he just does way more damage against female characters? He just does a bunch of normals, but like against female characters, they all just do a quarter of their health bar.
I would think it's like almost like a bed, not a bed man, but like his like idea of like bringing you to a dream world. Like he's actually like a normal looking dude, but like as he brings you into the dream world, you see how he really looks, and he's like this monstrous human being, and he sees himself in his head, and as he becomes a monster, he becomes more of a zoner. He's like, "Get away from me! I'm hideous!" And he just starts shooting the shit out of you. It's just happy chaos. Happy chaos becomes an incel. That's what they should do for the next game.
Happy chaos equals incel. That's got to be our next video, our next gimmick.
Honestly, we could clip this and it'd be perfect for a video. This whole fucking segment.
Uh, I can't believe we managed to con like two people in with talking about VTuber drama.
Dude, I'm telling you,
This
we're
was
going up. Our
this was the fucking meta, man. We should have done this from the beginning. There's
drama
like,
channel,
do what? There's like three or four VTuber specific drama channels.
dude. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. There's not hundreds of these channels. We need to get on the ground floor. Like we need to be the parasites off someone else's hard work. That's what we
See,
need. We need to get that.
the thing is, when I was looking into it more like earlier, I just realized like how much networking and like sleuthing you've got to do to be on the ball with it. I'm like, I don't have it in me to go and like personally learn about these all these people.
See, I think your problem was you moved out of like the fucking streaming hub of the world. Like you were in Texas. Like you were in like fucking you were in the perfect spot
I had
to
to
just
move for
get in.
fucking work. I needed a job.
You could have been a
I need
streamer. You could have been hey rinsing it up with Miskiff and them. You could have been in their
that could
streaming
have been
house.
you too. You were alive at the same point in time. We were all there. We all could have been the we all could have been the hot thing, you know, if we just did exactly what they did, but better.
Now we're doing it. All right. Now when it's too late, we're gonna make better content, better fucking
Have you seen our
drama.
videos? Better content? What are you on?
I saw our 5 views in like 5 hours. That's what I saw. I saw big numbers. I saw an
Yeah, and you
increase.
see where the views are now?
It's in five too. Yo, viewers, run that number up right now. Go run that number up.
Go
Andy
run it up.
Primer in
Go
the
run it
chat.
up. Any primers? Okay, you know what? New question. New question. We'll stay on the fighting game topic. Okay, we're gonna reverse what a lot of people normally do. I'm gonna ask, what Guilty Gear characters, or at least their gimmick, would you want to see in a Street Fighter 6 character?
The obvious one is probably Johnny. I think Johnny could fit. He would be like stop and go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta like time your blocks when you're dashing and shit, and he's just trying to keep you out. I think he's pretty like fundamental. Do you have one in mind? Or like
Not
wacky character?
really. I don't know, man. Because I feel like they're not a fan of like putting gimmicks on the screen.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, I think the most you're probably gonna find is like a fireball, Guile's like that. He puts like two waves of fireballs. That's his big gimmick. Is like he has a wall, and then he has another fireball he tosses out, and it breaks the wall and sends the fireball flying forward. A
Yeah.
stronger fireball.
I don't think they're a fan of like just sending out actually no, that's not true. That's not true at all actually, because Blanca is Blanca Chan. And Blanca Chan doesn't have a hitbox by default, right?
No, no, that's
Yeah.
out. What? But like you have to like hit it with something. There's a lot of setup for Blanca Chan.
Yeah, so it's exactly that's all. That's actually a lot like Johnny in that case.
Yeah,
So in that
yeah.
case, Johnny would have to move a lot of it. Okay. Here's the real question. What would you have to take away from Johnny to make him good for Street Fighter?
Misfighter dash.
Okay, so you'd have to take that away. Um, he obviously loses the double jump. His
Yeah.
damage is, you know, toned down to be on Street Fighter levels. Does he keep some of his gap closers like the vault?
I normally wouldn't say yes, but like Drive Rush is just like such an insane gap closer in almost any game. Like if you expanded Drive Rush to like Guilty Gear, like it covered the same amount of distance, like proportionally, you would just have that one move that everyone ever has now, like Wild Rush. It's the
Yeah,
same kind of thing.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, Wild Rush is 1 bar of your meter, right?
Hmm.
And you got six bars or five.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
Uh, yeah, I'm playing a while.
yeah, and with Strive Rush, Wild Assault, you get to use it twice, and you're also spending your defensive. So
And it's not as far. It really
yeah.
is not as far as Drive Rush. Drive Rush is just like a fucking speedy ass dash.
So actually, yeah, I didn't think of. I never played Street Fighter enough to really get into it. So I guess it doesn't make that much of a difference.
Yeah,
Do they
like
do they
they
have a lot of like jump over like fireball gap closer moves? Street Fighter.
Aki has one that goes like under, like she sidles under.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know Ed can just straight up punch him out of the air. They have a lot of ways to avoid fireballs. Yeah, ever since five, they've been adding more and more ways to just avoid like that kind of shit. I don't think over would be too out of the question because the biggest thing is like if you try and like the fact that like the game's all like very defined by the DP, like the DP motion, like this invisible thing. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
go high, that's just like if someone's ready for it, they're gonna like tag you really hard.
All right. Who would I think could be made into a Street Fighter character with minimal changes?
Hmm, there's the obvious one.
Uh, that's a little too obvious. You know who I think could be made into a Street Fighter character with minimal changes? This might be
Hmm.
controversial. This dude.
You're out of your gourd. Oh, that's Sim?
You,
I thought that was Asuka for a second.
oh no, this
Sim?
is Anji. Anji.
Oh, Anji, okay. Yeah, Anji.
Take away his jumps, his double jumps at least. Um and then maybe get rid of Madare. This move is bullshit even in the
Who's
question
that
is,
one?
would he keep both Fujin and Parry, or would he have to lose one?
I think if I had to guess, Fujin is almost like a Rekka series,
Hmm.
and there's been tons of Rekkas in Street Fighter. I think you could definitely do a Rekka series in Street Fighter. Um, like a full on like this is just like a state where he just travels through shit all the time. I'm trying
Hmm.
to think if there's anyone who's like that, and I can't think of it because like the problem is like not just that you're parrying it, but you're actually moving forward and you're like avoiding
Mm.
neutral. Like it's giving you net gain on the ground, which is kind of like fucked up if you think about it. Like you're just constantly pushing forward with this fucking move. This is why fucking Anji players are so dumb because if you guess right, you've made progress in like the neutral,
I
which is like
this is on the record. I just want to let you know. You admitted it. You
I'm
admitted
not
it.
dumb. Anji's great.
Anji players are fucking dumb. They are not like big brain gotta make the reads players. They are dumb. They're just gorillas. They're just gorillas. You said it.
Okay, here's the thing. When I think Anji was initially released, I think that they were big brain, right? But he got the reputation of the big brain character, right? And as time goes on and everything shakes out, idiots
Y'all
are like, I want to be big brain. I've never been big brain in
y'all
my life.
y'all can't see it, but I'm shaking my head. I'm shaking my head right now.
He was big brain. He was. He was.
Hope. Hoping. Hope.
Bro, play me in accent core. I'll show you how big brain Anji is.
I'm not I'll barely be able to move my fucking character around.
You've gotten a
Um
lot better. You can dash in fucking Blaze Blue all the time now.
Yeah, no, I take a lot longer. I've realized and accepted that I think compared to even people who just are still new but have my same number of hours, I take a lot longer to like adjust to new games.
I feel that. Uh, but the obvious one that we were talking about though, Axel would fit perfect in Street Fighter. I mean, he's basically Dawson. He's a Dawsonian. with no fireball.
He's Dawson mixed with Guile because he got a charge.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think time stop is that ridiculous.
Really, you don't think time stop would be that ridiculous in a Street Fighter game?
No, because if you think about it, like what you're basically doing, I mean, like you probably would have to have like a decrease on damage on combo, right? If he time
I
stop you,
mean,
like
there already is. Like, it has absurdly high scaling
which I
because
don't think it
it
should
counts as a hit.
here
Do what?
because like all it basically is just a full screen command grab, but like you get a combo off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
if you really think about like what happens, like it's just like you get grabbed from full screen and then
Well,
something happens.
no, because it's blockable. It's a hit.
Yeah, so it's even worse than like full screen command grab. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like you're basically and with the damage reduction, you're basically just getting a command grab's worth of damage. Maybe higher if you're doing like maximum damage, but
It
nothing too crazy.
it does depend. It is very situational. And I was just, I don't know. I was using it pretty frequently when I was still playing Axel.
Yeah,
I
you
think
were.
I had a couple I think I'd worked into my bread and butters a fair bit more. The
And like
yeah.
oh go ahead.
I'll let
No,
you.
finish.
Okay. The big thing is that you didn't get damage out of it so much as the guaranteed wall break from most parts of the screen if you knew what you were doing and you had a
Mhm.
plan, which I could get like a guaranteed wall break on like 60% of the screen. And for like 20% I would just fuck it up even though I knew what to do, and there was about 20% of the time I would be in a situation where I actually didn't know how to get a wall break. um
Yeah.
but
And
wall breaks
in
don't
Street
exist,
Fighter,
and there's not really an equivalent to that.
yeah, well, I'm saying in Street Fighter, like you'd be used for like just getting away from your opponent. I think you would probably do like a little quick combo, and you would get like away from your opponent to get back in you because Dawson has that kind of stuff. But the way he stalls his opponent out is his fireballs. Like sometimes he'll get hit while he has a fireball out. Person gets hit, he's out of there. He teleports. You know what I'm saying? And fucking I don't think Axel definitely doesn't have teleports. So you know, like what I'm saying is like when you add all this stuff up to the character, Axel is pretty fucking weak compared to Guilty Gear character. Besides
Yeah,
like
and if he was a Street Fighter character, he wouldn't have a run. He would have a the dash.
a day. Yeah,
So
exactly.
that means if you get it at full screen, you're spending half of your time stop just closing in.
Exactly. Unless you're wasting the drive rush, which is wasting your bar, which makes you closer to burnout, which means you're as a zoner, you're just trapped in the corner getting fucking destroyed
He
because you have no fast button.
would be dog shit at fighter character. That's actually an interesting concept. Is what character could you put in another game where they would just be really bad?
I think Axel's a choice for this game for Street Fighter.
What? Okay. So again, we have to say that they would get all the universal mechanics of the other game. So any Street Fighter character going into Guilty Gear gets a double jump. Their
Hmm.
damage is adjusted to be on like Strive's level relative to where they are in Street Fighter. But what character would do the worst?
Oh, it'd probably be someone like Yuri because she has no way to like run you down without her like initial mechanic, like the drive rush mechanic. She has no fireballs. I mean, she has one, but she has to charge it. You know what I'm saying? She actually has to
Yeah.
like get it. So like you're sitting there trying to get your fireball charged, and this person has already annihilated you. I mean, she could be like Giovanna, where she's really good in the clinch, but Giovanna has a way to push herself into like the close range and beat your ass. Or a big body like Marissa would probably be terrible.
She would have White
Mar-
Wild Assault.
I don't think it's enough. I think that still makes you bottom two in fucking most games.
Yeah, she does have a ton of. She already has a ton of armored advancing moves. Very good point.
Yeah.
Um, she, okay. If Marissa was in Strive, would they give her a double jump like how sometimes the big bodies in Strive are given better air movement?
I think she might be actually like Nago, where she has some way to like increase her speed on ground, where she's kind of like an all rounder. Because I don't know, actually, she's more Gold Lewis to me, where her damage is
Yeah.
incredibly high, but she has to get on you.
They could make her like Hakumen, because Hakumen's
Mhm.
air movement is like as fine as anyone else's. He's just slow on the ground.
and it has like a parry or whatever he wants. Yeah,
I mean, Marissa already has a parry, right?
yeah. They could just make it like Hakumen's where if it hits it, like it hits. Wait, how does
Yeah.
that work? Does Hakumen like if you actually like parry even full screen, do you like just get damaged or what? What happens at full screen?
I don't think it works on projectiles,
Okay.
but I have no idea. I'm gonna look that up right now, actually. It can be
Yeah, because
held,
there's that
cannot
character
block
in Granblue.
blows. Um, okay, so it's like it'll block and then he'll have a hitbox right in front of him, so it doesn't affect it. If I guess it doesn't affect it if you're out of the you're out of the hitbox.
So you basically just fuck yourself. Like if you block something and you like swing, then you just whiff like for free, and then you're
It's 5 frame recovery,
ooh, not bad.
so you know, or
Hakumen seems like a
10 frame.
guarantee on most
Uh,
games,
did
and
I
you'll be
say
fine.
5 frame recovery or 10 frame recovery? Because I'm
Five
staring
frame.
at it and it's 10 frame recovery, so that is very does anyone have a 10 frame startup move they can do from full screen
In Street Fighter and BlazBlue.
in Blaze Blue? Because now I'm just thinking, like, is that something you can punish if he does 5D like at full screen?
Okay, you're one character that zones. She has that machine gun move where it takes like multiple shots. So like he
Oh,
eats the first shot and then just gets shot like four more times. Any multi-hitting move would be fucking annoying. I can't imagine the matchup with that fucking one girl that I play, the one that just does the flame wheel over and over again. I
oh
can't
my,
imagine that matchup's any fun for that character.
oh my fucking cool.
I love Kokodoe.
Oh no, I'm yawning. I'm yawning. The high energy's gone. We're gonna lose our 2 viewers. No.
I mean,
Assuming they're
we've
still
done like
here and
two
it's not
hours so
just
far,
fucking up. Eh,
so we're like this is just icing on the cake. Whenever you're ready, we're good. I'm having fun
Uh,
anyway.
I don't know. I keep getting error messages that YouTube isn't receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I mean, nobody's complaining in chat because nobody's talking. Uh,
That's the next goal is to have someone actually conversate with us in chat. Like that's the
uh,
next like big goal.
this man has promised to shit in his underwear and then eat it live on stream if we get like more than 2 chatters. I'm just
I
saying.
promise to shit my underwear and swing it over my head, like so it sprays all over my house and my walls. That's my promise to you, viewer. If
Yeah,
you fucking talk
yeah, just like your Isle Kokinoe spinning around, just flinging shit all over the screen.
I'm plus on block. I'm plus on block. I'm plus on block.
I don't.
When she has the magnet out, it's positive. That's the biggest thing. And even when it's not out, it's not that punishable.
Don't understand. I don't understand, dude. Dude.
You want to talk about some bullshit? Let's talk about how the fact that some fucking Tekken characters actually have positive moves and some characters have no positive moves. How are you not gonna give a character a positive fucking move besides the basic system mechanic jab? It's insane to me. Insane to me. Monkey characters, man. You gotta get that fucking game. You're gonna get Helldiver if you're not gonna get fucking Tekken.
I might
You
get
call yourself
Helldiver because
I'm
all my other friends are playing Helldivers right now.
supposed to be playing it tonight. It's got the Starship Troopers humor. It's got references to 40K. It's like very fog of war. Um, there was a couple scenes that reminded me. I don't know how your only war campaign. We can talk about your only war campaign if you want, without going
Okay.
into too much detail, because I wanted to hear about how that went.
We
It'd
had
be cool.
session 0. Uh,
Okay.
After some discussion, some of the players were sort of spitballing ideas for what the regiment would be. Um,
Mhm.
the only war system is actually really interesting. One of the coolest parts about it is it has this very extensive system for creating regiments. Because part of the setting is that the Imperium is so huge that its armies don't actually have any kind of like standardization or regulation. So you get all these different options for making like a group of soldiers from like anywhere you can imagine doing any sort of job you can imagine. Um,
Okay.
so so you've got like you can be feudal worlders, you can be a bunch of cavemen from a feral world. You can be like a bunch of gang members who were conscripted from a hive world. Um, and
So
like
that's where the freedom comes in.
yeah, they were like you're free to make whatever kind of custom crazy regiment you want. You can have them do anything, pretty much anything. You can like be, you can be normal as foot soldiers, dudes with las guns. You can be in a tank. You can even do like support logistic stuff, like
Hmm.
salvage and recovery is one of the like regiment types you can make. Um, my group decided they actually wanted to go for one of the canon regiments, but one of the ones that wasn't like supported by the books officially, because like they'll have a bunch of pre-built regiments so you can play as like all the brand name stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um,
How do
but
you like make a cannon regiment like fun? Like, aren't you gonna be sitting there for like a long time, like just like taking shots?
um, it depends. Like as a GM, as a GM, the thing you want to avoid is always putting your players in a challenge where it's very obvious how they like solve stuff. Like
Hmm.
that's if players went with like one of the canon like line regiments where you're just dudes with las guns, then all that means really is I throw you in situations where like you aren't meant to succeed necessarily by shooting the bad guys. Like either
Okay.
you're overmatched and you have to realize that and run away, or you're overmatched and you just have to survive.
Hmm.
Or even like you're doing weird stuff that like isn't fighting. Like maybe there's a bunch of civilians and you've got to go like police them. Um,
Yeah. That'd be really
or
funny with a cannon regiment. Like, do we blow up this insurgent household that's surrounded by civilians? I
yeah,
could see the world wonder.
yeah, that's the exact kind of situations I like to put my characters in. Like, thank God they don't watch, and I hope that they never watch the archive because I'm spoil some here. One of the plans right now I have for them is that they're fighting the Tau, who are an alien
Uh-huh.
race, and 40k the Imperium. They normally have a very simple policy of just like kill all the aliens. They're all
Hmm.
evil, and you should never like try and talk with them or do anything like that. And I'm not planning on having the Tau just being like these like just straight up good guys. But I'm planning on pretty early on, some of the Tau will realize they're outmatched and try to surrender. Because what I'm hoping is that there's some discussion on whether they bother accepting it or not. And what I'm planning is that
Mm.
later down the line, when they're like moving on and deeper and the thicker of the fighting, there'll be a point where like this camp of wounded guardsmen gets ambushed. And however the player characters decide to treat the surrendering Tau, that's what they're gonna see on their buddies.
Got you. So like your reflection of like, oh, okay. So like if you take prisoners of war and you treat them with respect, you kind of get their respect back. If it's all out, it's all out. You just see mutilated corpses when you walk in. Like,
There'll be one survivor who's just screaming, "The bastards! The bastards! They didn't even. They just started killing everyone. We couldn't have fought back. What were they thinking? Those monsters."
I don't want to spoil like because anybody could because our one viewer could be like the person from the group, but I would like it if you probably have like a reoccurring character. Again, we talk about reoccurring characters, but
Oh
what if you
yeah.
had like a reoccurring character that like gets captured, like as one that prisoner of war, and you just see his fucking guts strewn all his head on a pike.
uh, yeah, maybe. Like that's honestly one of the big things is we had session zero. I'm gonna give it a week to
Mhm.
work on it because right now what I have to do, now that I have like the baseline of the regiment where everyone's like the important thing from the GM's perspective about the regiment is it sort of sets the baseline of what everyone can do. Because it affects sort of the standard gear and abilities of like what everyone, and then they choose a specialty that sort of gives them a more defined role in the unit, right? So you got like the sergeant class, so you'll have all the base abilities of the regiment, and then you'll have sergeant stuff, and there'll be like a heavy gunner, etc., etc., right?
Mhm.
So now that I have that baseline, this is when I can start really making the encounters and sort of tailoring them to what I know everyone should be able to do.
Did you
Um,
get a taste of anybody's character? Like anybody's like I know I heard a lot about Ainsley's character, but I don't know if I heard about anybody else's. Anything sticking
uh,
out?
Everyone's sort of got a pretty firm idea now.
Mhm.
Um, Rory is going for the sergeant. Planning. What's really interesting is a dynamic I can see happening is he's been thinking a lot about how much better the Tau's weapons are by reputation than like the Imperiums are. He hasn't seen the stat blocks I have for them. Pretty much bang on. But, it's 40k in the Imperium and it's alien anything, even if it's their guns, is kind of
No, no.
a no-no. So he's already trying to think like, oh god, whose ass do I have to kiss? And how do I hide it? Because I know I'm going to pick up all the really nice plasma like pulse weapons. Um
Is there someone else in the group that's like, no, dude, fuck Xenos, fuck alien scum. I
um
refuse to even touch it.
Janet was kind of playing around, playing a bit more straight laced when it came to that sort of thing.
Mhm.
If there isn't sort of an antagonist to that, then it'll be an NPC job to be a stickler about it.
Yeah,
Um,
or you could try and sway somebody to just hate Xenos. Like they like have them individually see a lot of fucked up shit that Xenos do, or see that the town do.
yeah, that's one of the interesting. One of the players is playing a priest,
Uh,
so he might be a good source of opposition loggerheads when it comes to that conversation.
oh, dude, I'm hyped for you.
Uh, there is Ryan who's playing Ogren, already getting into the whole spirit of Ogren of just me name Glub. Glub take care of new dog. Glub, that's a crew talks. I can kill a man. Me like it.
Dude, I love ogres. I didn't even know they existed until I mean, of course, every fucking fantasy setting needs to have like the fucking big old troll kind of archetype, big old ogre. Oh man, I'm a man. Like, okay, so what are ogren? Are they just like genetically modified humans?
Uh, yes, they aren't modified per se. They are what is classified as abhumans. So
Okay,
in 40k, a mutant doesn't necessarily mean that what it does for us. It's not necessarily something wrong with your DNA. It could be like chaos energy that's just making you turn into a horrible squiggly monster, right?
okay,
But evolution still and DNA actually do exist. So an abhuman is a human like group that has evolved to meet a specific conditions. Um,
like the dwarfs in the fucking heavy gravity areas, right?
yeah,
Incredibly heavy gravity.
yeah. So Ogren are one of those. Now, the way I specifically run 40k is that most people are ignorant as shit. So the distinction that I just listed between a mutant from Chaos Warp Energy and a normal abhuman, the way I run 40k is most people are too fucking stupid to understand that distinction, and the ones who are like totally immoral and don't actually care. And they will either call
Okay,
you an abhuman or a mutant based on what is like more convenient for them. That's the way I run it.
so
Um,
you're a freak either way.
yeah. I mean, the thing is like Ogren are big, strong, and easily and malleable. So,
Mhm.
if you are part of that group that knows the distinction between a chaos mutant and a scientific genetic mutant,
Mhm.
um, and but to you the distinction only matters if like you stand to profit. Ogren are pretty
Yeah.
handy to have around, so they get the pass. But albinos, well, you know, just send them to the angry mob with pitchforks and unless they're
See, I think of
rich.
your yeah, Ogren are the people that are like controlling them.
What?
You said they're rich, right? Like, are the
Oh,
Ogren rich?
well, unless they're like, because I said
Oh, okay,
like if it's an albino, then you don't really care about like preserving them unless they're rich.
okay.
That's
See, I
that's
would
how
like
I
to
run it.
play like the character in this one, like the silent or whatever the fuck they're called. I would love to play a character that just can like fundamentally not get along with people because they're like the
Oh,
very of them.
an untouchable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I love being terrible for team morale. Just
I
horrifying to look at.
I don't even know if there's rules for playing a blank in only war as base. I could
Because they are
you could
useful to have around, right?
yeah. That well, it really depends on what you're going.
Okay.
Um, the thing is, there are canonical blanks in the guard. It's also one of those things that's really well, 40k in general is really dumb because everything is a lot vaguer. Is everything is very vague because of how like GW treats canon. That could be another thing because I actually really like the way GW does like what's canon and what isn't.
Okay.
But a
It's like
lot of
very
people don't. But it does lead to a bunch of nerds on the internet having very strong opinions and being very certain of themselves when they say what is and isn't in 40k. Um, which is why I like my personal policy of what is allowed or isn't depends on who stands to profit.
Mhm.
Um,
It's also
because
an
I
entire universe. So it's gonna be like everything you can imagine in the fucking universe is gonna like any combination of things in the universe you're gonna probably find
yeah
like near it.
yeah
Hey,
that's a very common way to go about it. I like my attitude. It lets you have varied responses and still keeps everything shit and depressing because the forces in power will always exploit those without it for their own ends, even if it takes a
like
million different
David.
forms of depression.
All right. I
But
think then we should call it now. I'm
yeah,
sorry, my dog's getting
it's
pretty antsy.
it's fine. Go take. We managed to get two viewers who, according to YouTube at least, stuck through it for a long time.
Yeah,
Assuming
like
you
three
guys are
hours.
real, we appreciate you as the first people to actually watch us for any meaningful amount of time.
And I'm not
Uh,
telling you to stop. If you want to keep going, you can play some
I
games and shit. I just gotta take my dog for a nibby.
yeah, nah, you can. I think I don't really have anything left to say, and there's no chat for me to bounce off of, and I'm too pathetic and uncreative.
I do want to hear more. Like, next time we do I think this should I think a little reoccurring segment, like when you have something interesting that happens in your only war campaign or any campaign, I would
Okay,
definitely be down to have a little segment like that.
only war
Give us something to talk
campaign update.
about. All right, I gotta use that.
All
Peace out,
right,
buddy.
all right. See ya, see ya.